Hey everyone, my name is Mary Laurie. I am Scott and Rachel's youngest daughter, the owners of Turn On Marriage, and I wanted to hop on here and talk about a very severe issue and the severity of it, which is the effects that divorce has on children and teenagers. So I go to public high school, which is a moderately large high school, so I'm surrounded by tons of students in all different walks of life. And whether parents realize it or not, you can almost always, like 99% of the time, tell what kind of home life someone has just by looking at them. Which, I mean, I'm not meaning to say that to be like we're judging them or whatever, but you can just typically tell by how they hold themselves, the way that they act, the way that they respond to certain situations, and it's not necessarily their fault. So I have a very good friend that she was opening up to me about this the other day. Just the struggle that she has to go through every week with changeover or whatever you want to call it, switching houses in the middle of the week. The kind of pressure that it puts on a child is unreal. When children are already balancing a school life, trying to make good grades to hopefully go to college and save money on tuition or whatever with their GPA, balancing extracurriculars like sports or musicals or plays or anything like that, and even having a job. I have a job. I've had a job for 2 years. I'm involved in many plays, musicals, choirs, and I'm also, a senior in high school, and I do dual enrollment. And I don't know how I could do my life if my parents were not together. If my parents were separated and I had to go switch houses every other week, I don't know how I would be able to do that. So I truly don't understand how some of these children or these teenagers can do that, because it is so hard. One of my friends had a really hard test that she had to prepare for Wednesday night. But that same night, she had to also switch over to her other house. And she forgot lots of her other homework at her dad's house. And she had to go to her mom's house. So it's like the whole night she spent going back and forth and this far commute. And she was not well prepared for her test. And obviously we could say, oh, that wasn't the parents' fault. It isn't. But then again, if her parents were together, she wouldn't have to do all that traveling. It's an unbearable weight that's put on those kids. And I sympathize with it. And I understand that in the short and in like the short term, in the heartache and the trials that you and your spouse could go through. Obviously I'm not married and I don't know what that's like, but I know it's worth fighting through, because at the end of the day, if you go down the path of divorce, and if you go down that way and you have children in the home, there is no real escape for those children. They're gonna live their whole life with their parents divorced and not knowing what a true God-honoring family looks like. Being together, being rooted in the Word. I have been so blessed to have just a good family, and it wasn't always like that. I genuinely thought about 4 or 5 years ago that my parents were going to get divorced. I heard them arguing and yelling, and I was like, I don't know how our family is going to go on. I just want to encourage everyone that is listening to this that God is never done with your story, and whether it seems impossible or not, a marriage is worth fighting for. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And if this resonated with you, leave a like, drop a comment, and y'all have a blessed day. Take care.